It's springtime, they said. Blame it on the groundhog, they said. It's not even spring. Well, at least it doesn't feel like it. It was freaking snowing 20 minutes ago. How's that supposed to be spring? Gosh, there's just nothing good to look forward to in life. Oh wait, today's Monday. That means there's nerdy news. And the angels have sung. Anyway guys, welcome to Nerdy News Weekly. I'm your host, I Love the Haters, and this is a show where I talk about gaming and tech news to keep you guys updated. The first story of today is about Borderlands 2 because they are going to be releasing a brand new DLC pack entitled the Psycho Pack DLC. This DLC pack includes the 6th playable class inside the game entitled the Vault Hunter class, and the character is named Krieg the Psycho. He's mainly a melee character, but does have a few cool long range attacks. He can also skill up in the combat bonus centered Bloodlust tree, can go insane in the Mania tree, or use fire-based attacks in the Hellborn tree. Overall, he seems like a pretty cool character, and this just might be worth the buy for those people who love to play the game. Speaking of buying, this DLC will be worth around $10 or 800 Microsoft points if you're in the Xbox world. Oh, and almost forgot, this DLC pack will be releasing in May. But don't reach the peak of your excitement yet, because there's also going to be another DLC pack called the Ultimate Vault Hunter Upgrade Pack. This DLC basically raises the level cap of your characters from 50 to 61, and also includes a third playthrough called the Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Now this DLC pack is supposed to cost $5 or 400 Microsoft points. But now for the million-dollar question. Will all of this be included if you bought the season pass earlier this year for Borderlands 2? The answer is only the level upgrade pack will. Unfortunately, for some odd reason, they're not going to be including the Psycho pack in the season pass DLC, which is a completely stupid decision if you ask me. For some reason, game developers seem to find it okay to take more and more money out of your pockets with their DLC packs. I mean, Call of Duty did the same thing by making people pay for microtransactions even if they already bought the season pass. I think this is completely bullshit and should not carry on, but hey, what does my opinion matter? I'm one man. In other news, if you're a PlayStation guy or gal and you're an Infamous fan, Infamous Second Son was actually written down on one of the game developers' resumes. But what does that mean? What does that have to do with anything? Well, the person whose resume it was on was actually Nathan Reeds, who is a game developer at Sucker Punch and has been since 2008. By putting this on his resume, it basically shows that Infamous Second Son is guaranteed to be released and is actually also stated to be released in Q4 of 2013 on the PS4. So if things go as they've gone in the past and Infamous Second Son turns out to be a great game, then the PS4 is going to have a sick launch title waiting for it. Another quick little tidbit of news is that it's not going to be starring Cole McGrath. Infamous 2 is actually going to take on the story of Delsin Rowe, whose story takes place in Seattle 7 years after the Cole episodes. So it's basically going to be a whole new plot, and it might have some references to the older game, but it's basically, they're going to be starting fresh. Next up for your PC guys, I got some news about the DayZ standalone game. Now if you don't know what DayZ was, basically it was an open world game that included zombies and other players. The zombies weren't really much of a threat as they were just lying around there to kind of distract you, but the players were the real threat. You could choose to either become friends with them, or if they were douchebags, which most of the time they were probably just gonna kill you. And on top of that, you didn't have anything to call your own. You started off with literally just band-aids and some food. And to find some weapons and other things to aid you in your survival, you pretty much had to ransack every single house you could find and pray that there was actually stuff in them and that they weren't just useless loot lying around. The game will be released in its alpha stage in June, and the game developers said that they were waiting this long to release it because they want to perfect the servers. If you've played DayZ, you will know that the servers were complete trash a lot of times, and there was a lot of lag, a lot of loading, and a lot of bullshit stuff that would happen, such as falling off buildings, zombies coming through walls, and lousy hit detection where you thought that you were shooting somebody when you really weren't. DayZ was an amazing game slash mod, and it had so much potential. Now let's just hope that the standalone game will live up to its expectations. Next up for your PlayStation Vita fans, which there probably aren't very many of, the Jak and Daxter collection will be releasing soon. Now if you haven't played Jak and Daxter, it's basically an action-adventure platformer which involves the main character Jak and his buddy Daxter, who go through different adventures to either find power cells, which is in the first game. In the second game, they go into the future and have to defeat Baron Praxis, and in the third game, they get kicked out of their city and have to basically fend off for themselves in the wasteland. Overall, it is a phenomenal series, probably one of, if not, my actual favorite. And I've actually done walkthroughs for it on my channel, so be sure to check it out on my channel wherever that is nowadays. I don't know, YouTube's always changing around. I don't know where to point to exactly find out where my channel link is, but you guys should be able to find it. And last but not least for gaming news, we've got some news about Halo 4. Dated April 11th is supposed to be a brand new DLC coming out for Halo for free, which includes a brand new map called Forge Island. It's supposed to be very popular amongst map makers, and also includes a bunch of new Forge pieces to create your maps. But anyway, that's all I've got for gaming news today. Let's move on to our tech segment. Oh wait, almost forgot. One last thing. Final Fantasy X and X-2 will be re-released sometime around this year on the PlayStation Store and are supposed to be remastered in HD. I don't know anything about the price so far, but I will keep you guys updated if I know anything. Now welcome to our tech segment, which only actually has like 2 stories today. The first of which being that the company Razer is actually making their own gaming tablet called the Razer's Edge gaming tablet. It's pretty much going to be a combo of a tablet, Windows 8 PC, and gaming console. The tablet itself only comes with the power cord and battery, but it's got a bunch of accessories that are going to release with it, such as carrying cases, extra batteries, as well as a gamepad controller attachment, which is actually really cool because it allows you to have the full gaming console experience on your tablet. Now the final story we have for today is about BlackBerry, because they just released their BlackBerry Z10 model last week. It's available on T-Mobile and AT&T, and it costs $200 along with the 2-year contract, which is basically, the generic setup for cell phones nowadays. It's a very aesthetically pleasing phone, and it's got 4G LTE. It's also got an 8 megapixel camera with a bunch of editing tools, which I know the ladies will love. And it's got a pretty powerful processor. Now this may sound like an amazing phone, but there are issues with it. For example, it's a BlackBerry, which means it's going to be running on the BlackBerry OS, which means that it's going to only have the apps allowed for BlackBerry. This is actually a pretty big issue because BlackBerry does not have nearly as many apps as Android and Apple do. Now it does have the stock apps that you would expect from a phone, including Facebook, Twitter, ESPN, but a lot of other apps aren't actually available on the BlackBerry's marketplace, such as Instagram and pretty much a lot of the big staple games that you have on iPhone. Also, the operating system on the phone is actually known to have quite a bit of a learning curve, and a lot of things that are made simple by Apple and Android are kind of, they kind of take a couple of more steps to do on BlackBerry. Now, my personal opinion on this device is that it's not worth the buy because you can easily get an iPhone or a higher end Android phone for like roughly the same price. But anyway, that's all I've got to say today. Please drop a like on this video if you've been watching this far. These videos take a lot of time to record and edit. And if you're new around here, subscribe. What are you waiting for? There's a link at the top right of the video at the end and right under the video right next to my name. Anyway, it's getting kind of cold and I'm getting kind of tired of standing, so I'm gonna bring the show to a close. Once again, I'm all of the haters. You guys are my awesome viewers, and that's all for today. I'm out. Peace.